There is no male loneliness epidemic. It is a loser epidemic. Men would rather be alone than to evolve and change, than to recognize, wait, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe there's something I need to change. If you can't get a woman because none of them want to be with you, maybe try and figure out why. Instead of making women the problem, saying that their standards are too high, maybe try and figure out why they don't want to be with you.
You own your own home?
No.
Oh.
No.
Are there any of your children that you are close with?
No.
Maybe ask why are you not close with any of the ones that you know?
They're just kids. Somebody had them.
But they were part of you.
I didn't ask for them.
Let me go to Rocky. Rocky, what's your ideal type in a woman?
Subjugated, mute, knows her role, non-engaging, non-challenging, and can still earn a few bucks.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaya and welcome back to Amaya's Unsolicited Opinions. And today's video, it's going to be one of my most messy videos. You know, I try to keep it cute. I try to keep it nice when I'm talking to the girlies. But right now I'm talking about men, and at this point in life, they give me the ick, like severely disgusted.
It's just been so hard, like, dating recently, because when a high value man like myself comes into the fray, like, I just have, I don't know, all these women are just like, what do you do for me? What value do you add to my life? I don't get it.
I mean, this is our first date. I thought we were going to get like pizza or something.
Why would we do that? There's a completely fine kitchen in my apartment. You should come cook. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to cook.
I don't really like cooking that much.
Yeah,
to be
of
honest.
course. I mean, look at you.
What?
Yeah. You don't look like you can cook. You don't look like you can clean. I don't even know what you're doing in my car right now. You're for the street.
Husband slaps you down and you call the cops, you're evil. Period. You're the one who's evil. You know, if I heard a story about a husband who slapped his wife down and she called the cops on him, that is a horror story. What an evil broad.
I can go without fuck you, but it's like for so long I can't. But like I'm saying, you thought we was just gonna be hanging out for months, and like I was just gonna be taking you on dates and shit. Like I wasn't gonna get nothing out of that.
I don't know.
That's what you thought.
I guess. Like, I don't know.
The most recent thing that happened that, you know, really made me want to make this video was the wizard Liz, who was 4 months pregnant and married, got cheated on by her husband. And if you do not know who the wizard Liz is, essentially she's a YouTuber and she makes content for women. Not like the it's like femininity content, but not exactly, because, you know, instead of her content being based off of you know, appeasing men and you know, becoming feminine for the male gaze, it's feminine for the female gaze and bettering yourself because you actually want to be a better human being and becoming a boss. Like, it's girl boss content.
To start speaking back to people. If someone is disrespecting you, say, hey, why did you say that? Well, how did you even think that you could talk to me like that? Really, put people in their place. You will see how your confidence starts to rise. No one is defending you. You do not allow people to talk down on you, speak to you disrespectfully. They shouldn't even talk to you with that energy. They shouldn't even feel comfortable.
Don't like women. Men like men. Almost everything they do is for the validation of other men. But we fight with our own mother, with our sister, with our friends. When the guy does something wrong and they say, hey, listen, he disrespected you. No, he didn't. Hey, listen, he's quite ugly. No, he's not. It's just a bad picture. It was a bad day. No, he has been looking like this his whole life.
Millions of women follow her content every day, and it's improved the standards of millions of women and how they choose to date on an everyday basis. Like,
it would be nice if one of the things that came out of this whole situation with the wizard Liz being cheated on is the death of the whole high value woman concept. But the people who make this kind of content where they're trying to get women to behave like SW in dating situations, women who do this and engage like this with men are doing so to their own detriment. And that is why Liz ended up with the man she ended up with. I mean, look at him. He's not in his masculine. He's simpy. He followed her at the airport while she was in a mask. All of this stuff is so unhinged and toxic. And then he cheats on her on Snapchat. I didn't know anyone above the age of 17 used Snapchat. I didn't even know it was still around. All of these women telling you to get an SD style guy who buys you whatever you want, whenever you want, who is your golden retriever #1 fanboy, are selling you a lie. They are selling you a one-way ticket to misery. And it's high time that women wake up to this reality and realize this is the yin to the red pill yang.
TikTok, this situation was going viral because she had just recently posted content with her husband and, you know, talked about being pregnant, and she's 4 months pregnant, and it's just coming out that he was cheating on her.
It's not a good partnership if the person is going to choose someone else over you. Like, that defeats the whole point. But forgiveness is a big thing. So if you have ever had a trust issue come up, you got to learn how to forgive and work through that. Otherwise, that'll just turn into crippling insecurity that you suffer with.
Depends what the trust issue was. If the person is like texting other people.
Yeah, well, there's different like degrees of severity for sure. But yeah, I think you can make a mistake and get better. And this isn't just a mistake, right? Like, this is breaking trust, but I realized what I did was wrong.
It's not your fault for being cheated on, for falling in love, for believing that you chose the right person. But in this situation specifically, you are starting to see a lot of women wake up in this situation and, you know, actually listen to how these two met. And she essentially said the story started off by, you know, she was like covered up, like she had like a motorcycle helmet on, and she was going through an airport or something like that, and like you completely could not determine if this was her or not. And all of a sudden this man comes out of nowhere and says, "Oh my gosh, you're the Wizard Liz, I love your videos," and rizzed her up and became, you know, made her a wife. Rough raggy. If I'm undetectable in real life and you detect me, it's not just you detecting me, you're stalking me.
Landon finds me in Ibiza, cyber stalking me.
Landon, the Wizard Liz, Landon also stalked the Wizard Liz. Okay, he found her in another country, popped up, said that it felt like I walked through a veil.
Wizard Liz is not defending Landon. She is defending her choice in Landon. I'm going to say that again. Wizard Liz is not defending Landon. She's defending her choice in being with Landon. Okay? What we're witnessing at this point with Miss Wizard Liz is an ego death. Girlie realizing that she is not above the program. Girlie realizing in real time on the main stage that the rules, in fact, do apply to her. And I'm definitely going to do a podcast episode on it because it is a great conversation to have. But Sister Girl is realizing that she wasn't above anything or anybody. And I do believe that her platform and her level of influence did get to her head a little bit, to where she thought that surely nobody would try her the way they would try a commoner. Surely she has proven herself through her content to be a high value woman above all of the debauchery.
This situation is already as crazy as it is, but there's already been a lot of tension building up within a lot of women on the internet, because there's over the past couple months there's been conversations where, you know, the girlies are essentially saying these guys aren't attractive anymore and they don't offer anything.
Men are not attractive anymore, and I'm not even talking about looks. It's the fact that so many of them are not healed, not self-aware, can't connect emotionally, stuck at surface level because they don't know how to go beyond that. Like, they don't even know themselves, and they're constantly out here trying to chase the next best thing. Being emotionally unavailable, don't know how to express yourself at this big age is a complete turnoff. Like, take some time and heal. Go find yourself.
The inherent fact that men are evil, that is true. Like, man as a whole is evil. Like, just as an entity, a general idea. Men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable. Like, it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil. It's like, it's not all men, but for some reason, always a man. Every time something terrible happens, always a man, like 99% of the time. So I feel like it's a lot simpler than people may think. I don't hate my man. I hate most men.
A lot of women are just coming to realize that the guys are asking for a lot when they don't have the looks, the money, the education, or even the likability to be talking. And on top of that, I feel like there has been an uproar in a lot of this content because a lot of guys are essentially, calling women modern women and essentially saying that it doesn't make any sense for you to be single, and the current government is trying to take women's rights away and encourage us to, stay in the house and have children. And this all is bubbling up because we are currently the first generation of women with real independence, with that doesn't rely upon sitting behind, living with, or being under a man.
The video of that girl that's going viral stating that men are not attractive anymore, and it's really because they're not healing. I'm gonna just say this: the men are not looking attractive because it's giving low vibrational. And it's not that they're necessarily low vibrational, but it's the fact that women have grown so far within their healing process that the vibrations and the frequency in which they are operating at, the average men are not. It's the fact that women were in general conditioned to like men due to some superficial reasons. And now, if we have to take away those superficial reasons, whether it's due to providing, and doing all these little cutesy things, if the men are not here to provide, women are going to realize, wow, I have to really like a person for who they are. And I think a lot of women are realizing that men are not likable on average for who they are. Not to say that this is all men, but I need you to understand that the average men don't really value pouring into themselves and loving themselves the way in which the average women do.
You shut the f up. You need my mother heart, bitch. Yeah, that's what the f I mean. When I say shut up, it's quiet. I pay this mother car, nigga. You gonna learn today.
We were talking about people being intellectual or whatever. He tells me, he's like, well, Kevin Gates is somebody I think is very intellectual. I think he's really smart. And I said, well, why? He says, because he has a great vocabulary. Like, his vocabulary is crazy. I said, okay. Anybody can take a phenomenal vocabulary. Does it mean they're actually saying a bunch of profound shit? Absolutely not. Kevin Gates has a very poetic way of saying nothing a lot of the time. And if your sole reasoning for feeling like they're saying something is because their vocabulary is good, I need us to go back to the drawing board. So I'm like, okay, name some other people for me that you feel like are smart, like that are intellectual people. He said, Charleston White, and we're mutuals on here, so if you see this, no shade to you, but I had to tell the story. He said Charleston White, Kevin Gates, and T.I. I disagreed, but I also said I feel like smart people are naturally inquisitive. That's exactly what I said. Smart people are naturally inquisitive. That was the statement, right? And when I said that, he's like, so you're basically saying that smart people have to know everything. I said, how are you getting that out of me saying that smart people are naturally inquisitive? He's like, because that's what that means. Like, they know everything. So the only people that are smart people that know everything. And I literally said, and I wasn't trying to, I promise you I was not trying to be condescending. Like, I was actually asking. I was like, so do you want to Google what inquisitive means, or do you want me to tell you what it means? And he was like, oh, I already know what it means. I said, no, you don't. That's clearly why you're misinterpreting what I'm saying, because you don't know what it means.
This uproar and incels on the internet, because now men are realizing that, having money, having cars, having this status doesn't matter anymore. You now have to be attractive. You're now on the playing field with women who can also make their own money and support themselves. And the more that women are, getting their education and getting jobs and making their own money and starting their own businesses, and there's a large amount of men who are deciding to stay in the home, not get jobs and not start any businesses and live in the house with their mommy, it causes a lot of clashing when entering the dating world and when looking for a partner. And from what I've seen on the internet, there's been a lot more guys blowing up for being attractive in a whole looks maxing culture because of the fact that these men have realized that, in order to compete in the dating world and get a woman that you think that you're worthy of getting, you have to be attractive and you have to offer something on the table, or else you're just going to be one of these incels that are constantly, irritating women and in the DMs of women on the internet talking about how interested you are in them, and that's it.
Day one looks maxing. Started off with 20 Apicularis reps and I did this 3 times. Tell me if I'm doing it right. I did some Zygo pushing. I think this is to make your cheekbones more defined. After that, I did chin tucks.
So do you want to join the guild? Do you want to join the looks maxers?
No, I'm good.
Why not?
Why? Women don't really need to look max, bro. Like,
that's not true, bro. They're always doing it.
I mean, they are, but they don't need to. No, you see ugly girls.
What does that mean? No, what does that mean? Of course they can get a guy, but if they want to get a higher value guy, they have to.
But they don't need to. That's what I'm saying. They can, but they don't need to. So.
And this is also another reason why you're starting to see so many videos of the girls being like, I'd rather be single, and you know, instead of taking the position of being a wife, a mother, or a girlfriend.
Like, why would I want to go to work and then come home to a man that wants to freak me, and then I might even have to cook and clean, or we even may make some kids, so now I have to go to work, come home to the man and some kids, and then I have to cook and clean, and then I have to freak the man to please him, when all I could do was just go to work and go home to myself and pay my own bills and live in peace.
Sorry, I heard some of y'all didn't get the memo, so I'm here to just, reiterate it.
These niggas are narcissists! Run! Run for your life! They're trying to take your light! It's fuel! They're vampires! They're fucking vampires! Run! Oh my god, the devil's in your house! Run!
And also grew up seeing their mothers deal with having to work a job and having to support a family at the same time, and the dad is just there chilling on the couch, or the dad is, doing the bare minimum, or just being toxic in general. He may be providing the money, but he's toxic and irritating to be around. And then a lot of girls grow up in an environment where the moms are like, well, just focus on school, you don't have to get married, you don't have to be worried about a man. And then it's 2025 and you're trying to date and you're trying to find your future husband, and they're just yipping yapping this rigmarole, these pop the balloon talk points. And it's just like, well, instead of having a child and having to work and coming home and having somebody be like, when are you going to open your legs, mom, give me breakfast, I'd rather just rent an apartment and mind my business and live with my cats and dogs. And I mean, realistically, if I wasn't with my boyfriend, that actually sounds like a dream, not going to lie. Just like having a humongous house that I can decorate with my Pinterest boards, with a wiener dog and a koi pond and a pool and all that, and just living peaceful by myself. That does sound like a dream, because personally I am more of like an independent person, and I prefer not to come home and somebody be like, oh, when are you having my children? I'm speaking about men in this video. I'm not even just talking about straight men, because there's also an issue with the gay men where they will sit up and say weird and strange and misogynistic things I've experienced firsthand, and will try to push it to the side and be like, oh, I'm a girl, I'm one of the gays, like I'm with you. And it's like, no babe, you're a man. If you have not switched your gender and became a transgender woman, you're a man.
Okay, I'm not homophobic, I'm literally gay, guys, but I feel like sometimes gay men forget that they are men still. Like, I don't know how it's possible, but I have met so many misogynistic gay men, or I've seen them on the internet, I'm like, how? And also, I have been friends with gay men, and they have threatened to, like, fight me before, and, like, hit me. And the whole time I'm looking at them crazy, because I'm like, are you not a man? Like, you're still a man. Like, I get it, you're gay, but you're a man. You should not be hitting women, or saying horrible things about women. Like, hello?
And this energy is like, it gives succubus, because a lot of the times when you see women that are beautiful, are smart, are intelligent, are ambitious, it attracts a lot of energy, and it attracts a lot of people, and it's very impressive, and it's very interesting to be around a woman of that caliber. But you do see a lot of men that start to like try to belittle you and humble you as a woman, or try to get with you like the Wizard Liz situation, to humble you and to ruin your life. So now you're a smart woman, you're a beautiful woman, you're an ambitious woman, you're an open-minded woman, but now you have to be a calculated woman on top of that, because now you have to realize as a woman, okay, I know what my strengths are, and I know that people want to put me down because of my strength, instead of just living on the world freely as any other human being. Because that's another thing. We have conversations like, as women, we should be able to walk down the streets freely. As a woman, we should feel comfortable with, being in an Uber and not having the Uber driver look at us in our skirts and ask us where we're going to work and make us feel uncomfortable.
How you doing?
Why are you saying that?
I'm not a pervert, but you need a Mother Nature gust of wind right now. Come on, wind. Come on, wind.
And this is the reason why women tend to walk faster when they hear footsteps behind them. This is the textbook definition of a predatory creep. Cheering on a weather pattern because it might do what no woman ever has, you know, willingly lift her skirt for you. If you say you're not a pervert while behaving like one, you're not fooling anyone but yourself. You're not funny, you're not charming, you're just a bit pathetic. I mean, rooting for Wynn to expose a stranger's body without her consent isn't just misogynistic, it's harassment in broad daylight.
And I fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me together.
Which is something I've experienced a variety of different times. There was just a TikTok that went viral of this man literally pausing mid-ride to look down this woman's skirt. Luckily, I've never had to have, you know, somebody look down my skirt, but I have had men that have been Uber driving me stink ass vehicle. Stink ass smelling, stink looking, talking about some, when are you coming from work? Where do you work at? Where are you going to see your boyfriend? Oh, if only I was your man. Stuff like that. It's just like, what are you so freaked out for? You can't keep those thoughts in your mind, because if you're in this position, you're supposed to be working and I'm in the back of the car and you see that I'm watching my TikTok videos of minding my business. Why are you talking to me when my headphones are on? Why are you talking to me, asking me questions, asking me to go on a date with you in an Uber? People don't know, they don't know time and place these days, because personally for me, that's not the time or place. This is not a Riz ride. I'm trying to go to the mall. But anywho, and going, you know, I'm going to get more into like the freaky stuff, but these type of, you know, the male loser epidemic has led to like these guys becoming more violent and more open with their violence, especially in like big cities like Chicago, New York, and LA, where you see a lot more content creators and women talking about being attacked on the side of the street by a man, and how, you know, when men become broke and homeless and have nowhere to go, it leads to them getting on drugs and becoming irate. And a lot of that has to do with the men who are raising them and why they're not investing in their sons, in their cousins, and other men around them.
Why'd you hit them? Daquan Armstead was let out of the hate crimes task force in handcuffs. Asked why he attacked 7 women since March. They tried to spit on you? Police say that's not true. Armstead accused of punching women in the head, face, and back all over the Lower East Side. Charged today with hate crime.
I hate how scared of men I am. Like, I'm walking down the block, this man's honking at me, I'm not looking at him. The whole time he was literally just trying to tell me that I had dropped my hat. And that was really nice of him. Next up, I'm fixing my hair in the corner of the street. This guy speaks to me, he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. He's like, you're really beautiful. I was like, thank you so much. And then he just walked away. Like those are nice men. Those are nice men. But I'm scared. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared of anything, honestly, but I get why I am, so I'm not judging myself.
But yeah, that was it for this video. If you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope it was like one of my longer videos, and follow my other channel, and have a beautiful day.
Life move fast and you know what you want.
You the coldest, you know you the coldest, you know you the coldest.